There's a decision most Canadians make in their 40s without ever noticing they made it. It costs about $120,000 and you make it by doing nothing. By the end of this video, you know exactly what that decision is, why it hides inside the most responsible looking years of your life, and whether 45 is coming at you or already behind you, how to make it on purpose instead. I'm Toyin, a CPA and MBA with years of real client work behind me. I'm glad you're here. Quick note before we start. This is general financial education, not advice tailored to you. And I never tell you what specific investments to buy. For guidance in your own situation, talk to a professional. And on debt, tax, and planning, that can be me. In your 40s, everyone wants your money. The mortgage, the kids' skates, and the hockey fees, and the phone plans. Your parents are starting to need help. And the house always needs something. This year, it's the roof. So deferring your retirement savings doesn't feel like a decision. It feels like being responsible. You're not skipping saving. You're just going to catch up later. After the mortgage, after the kids' lunch. Later has a plan. Later always has a plan. I already told you the price, about $120,000. What I haven't shown you is how later collects it because it never sends a bill. Let me show you. If later has a plan sounded uncomfortably familiar, hit the like button. This video was made for you. Thank you. 2 facts stacked. Fact 1. In Canada, historically, earnings have peaked between ages 45 and 54. Across nearly every occupation, that's been the highest earning stretch of a working life. Seniority, experience, your track record, they all finally pay at once. Fact 2. At 45, you still have 20 years of runway to 65. Peak full, long runway. That combination happens exactly once. And most people spend it on catch-up plans for everything except the future. That window, your mid-40s to your mid-50s, it's the decade this whole video is about. If you want the real numbers behind decisions like this every week, subscribe. Now, let's meet Tom and Heather. Same salary, both 45 years old. Tom starts now, $1,000 a month from 45 to 55. Then he stops completely, not another dollar after 55. 10 years of contribution, done. Heather waits. The mortgage first, the kids first. It's the responsible order. At 55, she's ready and she's serious. $2,000 a month, double Tom every month from 55 to 65. Same finish line at 65. Heather puts in twice as much per month. You'd bet on Heather, right? She's putting in double. Before I show you the ending, here's the physics. A dollar invested at 45 gets 20 years of lift. A dollar invested at 55 gets 10. And compounding isn't a ramp, it's a hockey stick. It creeps along flat for years and then it bends. And that bends comes late. That's not a flaw in the plan. That's the shape of the math, which means the dollars you plant in the 45 to 55 window reach the bend right around the time you need them. The late dollars get there too, but much later, sometimes deep into your retirement. At 65, they're still on the flat part, and you can't always afford to wait for them. Here's the ending of my story. At 6.3%, the return assumption Canadian financial planners are told to use for 2026. Tom, $120,000 in total. At 65, it's grown to $312,000. Heather, $240,000 in. Double the money, double the monthly strain. 10 years of writing bigger checks. At 65, about $333,000. Roughly the same retirement. One paid $120,000 for the ticket, one paid $240,000 for the same seat. That's what later costs. not your retirement. The price doubles instead. And there's the $120,000 decision from the start of this video. Nobody chooses it. It's just what deferring silently signs you up for. Most people at 55 can't suddenly find double, so they don't pay double. They just retire on less. That's the whole difference between retiring comfortable and retiring scared. Here's my here. Your 40s are not the decade you sacrifice for everyone else and catch up after. They're the highest leverage financial years you will ever hold. And treating them as a waiting room is the single most expensive habit for your retirement. Not fees, waiting. And look, if you're in that window right now, this is the best news in the whole video. The machine is sitting in your driveway, peak income, 20 years of runway, and the math bends your way for exactly this decade. You don't need to fix the whole plan this month. You need to stop being ever at 45 this month. And if there's a Heather watching this, don't take it personally. Heather still got there. She just paid more than she had to. And now you know the trick, she didn't. If you're past 45, the window is a decade wide. And I made a whole video on the catch-up plan. It's linked at the end. Late is expensive, but it's not doomed, and I'd never tell you it is. This idea that timing beats effort is the kind of thing I write every week in the Sunday Money Letter. One calm idea, about 500 words every Sunday, free. Go to cpamoneymentor.com/moneyletter or click the link in the description. 5 moves for the window. 1. The month a raise lands, claim a fixed slice of it for the future before your lifestyle notices it exists. Peak earnings only help if some of the peak gets kept. 2. Automate it into your RRSP first. Your 40s and 50s are usually your highest tax bracket, which means the RRSP deduction is never worth more than right now. TFSA alongside. 3. Do not wait for the mortgage to die. Run both. Waiting for the mortgage is exactly what Heather did, and it's what doubled the price. The mortgage will end either way. The window won't wait for it. 4. The one exception. Kill any credit card debt first. Paying off 19% beats everything else on this list. 5. Recheck the plan once a year inside the window, not once a decade. The window is 10 years. You get 10 checkpoints. So that's the $120,000 decision from the start of the video. It's simple. You either use this decade or you hand it to later and pay double. It was never about how much you earn. You now know which decade decides it. You know what the waiting invoice looks like. And if you're holding that decade right now, you know what it is for. You're not behind. You're mid-window. And if you're watching this video somewhere past the window, the 10-year catch-up plan is right here. I'll see you in the next video.